Welcome to the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. This is the podcast where we talk all things hockey, interview players, and help new ones learn the game. If you want to learn something new about hockey, this is your show. Get ready, you're listening to the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. Welcome back to the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. I am with one of my old friends, old teammates, and someone who played under me, Joe Vonakis. Joe, how are you?
Adam, it's always great to see you. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. All right, so today we are going to be talking about the Baltimore Banners. They are a charity organization that helps youth play sports and helps them get on the correct path to life. So, Joe, do you want to tell me how you got involved and your background of the Baltimore Banners?
Absolutely. So I guess first, just to kind of clarify, the Baltimore Banners are a team within the Tenderbridge Foundation, which was founded by Noel Acton. And they have a junior and a senior team. The junior team is composed of individuals in East Baltimore from ages 8 to 14. And then the senior team is from ages 15 to about 22. And it actually started, my friend Jack Burton and I, we had actually grown up playing youth hockey together. And we had both moved back into Baltimore, and we were looking at some way to give back and to still be involved in hockey. And from there, we decided to look up what we had helped out with back in the day, which was called, at the time, Hockey in the Hood. And that was for players that were only aged 8 through 14. Actually, Mallory Richards, who kind of ran and started that program, is still running that now. And from there, we heard about on the internet about the Tenderbridge Foundation and the Banners, and it's kind of gone pretty quick. It's been just over a year, and we have the junior Banners that we started along with a lot of other hands that have been helping, as it takes a village, and ever since we're on to year 2.
Oh, I was muted. Oh, no. Okay. So when kids first join the program and play hockey, you offer them old equipment, you offer them as well when they join, or and you told me earlier before we got on that the transportation is funded as well.
Well, there is funding, but we always need to get more. Everything is, for the most part, covered through the Tenderbridge Foundation, through private donations. We've got some really good partnerships with the Washington Capitals, with the NHL, and a lot of other private organizations that have been donating and given us some small donations that are kind of helping us build up our funds, but also to put our players through a full season of youth hockey. And the average cost for one player to go through youth hockey, for all expenses, which is equipment, ice, food, transportation, you're looking at nowadays within $5,000 to $7,000. So it has gone up like many things. And for us, it's just finding ways to tap into our network to get donations, as well as figure out how we can build a culture and to continue to build a family. Hockey's more the vehicle. That's something that we use to teach life lessons and to grow and mature as young adults. And from there, it's gone smoothly pretty far. But obviously there's several more years to come. It's not just during the hockey season. We look to do events away from the rink and at the conclusion of most of our sessions, we'll always do sit down lunch. We get a chance to chat with the kids and learn a little bit more about what they're going through. And some of the situations are completely different than any of us have ever been in and will ever been in. But you definitely learn a lot, as well as hope to rub off on them and teach them some things along the way.
And just to bring up the volunteer time, I mean, it's definitely crucial in this day and age, because there are many young kids who do not have anyone to turn to, it, and it is a shame, but and this is why sports in general matters, because it builds the teamwork necessary, builds that trust, that communication, everything these kids are going to need to survive out in the real world.
Oh, absolutely. And, the term that we use, and I think I've actually used this in a podcast with the Blue Oasis, was that all leagues lead to adult leagues. So no matter where you play professionally, in North America, overseas, what have you, forever how long, eventually you're going to end up coming back to play adult hockey, whether that's charity tournaments in a league or just pickup. It's all about the network, and that's kind of what we want for one of our messages to be for the kids, for the junior and the senior banners, is that we're very lucky that we have a great network. It takes a village, but within that village, there's a lot of different dots that we connect to help them be successful later in life. Because the ice time, or for us, ball hockey only lasts for a few hours at most. So it's about what we can provide them away from the rink or away from the court to help improve one day at a time.
100%. The Tender Bridge Foundation, that started in 2003, and and these all right. So I do want to talk more about the life after the program and the training opportunities of the Tender Bridge Foundation. I do want to go into that.
Yes, I would say there's a few examples just off the cuff of individuals that we've had in the program. That Noel Acton, who is executive director, and one has made it and is playing currently for the Carolina Panthers in the NHL, in the NFL. Ian Thomas is his name. There's a countless others that have started their own businesses that are still within the Baltimore area. But our biggest focus is everybody has a different path. It's just about figuring out what that is, whether it's coming back to coach in the meantime before taking the next steps, or it's about figuring out what the passion is, what you really want to do. We have a couple of our captains on the senior banners, Jaquan Washington, and Daryl is actually one who's playing football right now at school and getting offers and looks from some four-year universities to pursue social work. And Jaquan has a t-shirt company along with a few of the other guys, and they love to do these things. It's just, how can we provide some infrastructure, and how can we provide enough to grow, and ultimately they can then pass those life lessons on to the next group. And I can't even tell you enough how great of a job that the senior banners do with our junior banners, and showing them things that they learned along the way, and just instilling values that Noel Acton and so many other volunteers have along the way, that you can see they did a really good job. And we hope to do as much as we can to continue that on.
Nice. Now, with the banners, do they play in youth? Like, would they play against a different county team, or would they play or would it just be in-house, just to get specific?
Yeah, for our team with is the junior banners, we are actually we can't we don't have enough at the moment to field a true age level team, meaning an 8U, a 10U, or a 12U, since we have such a big range in ages. So at the moment, we are in the process of getting affiliated, and we can't be remiss to not mention the Potomac Valley Amateur Hockey Association, and USA Hockey for kind of helping us out and giving us some guidance so that we can eventually become a club that has teams at each level. But right now, we kind of play inter squad scrimmages. We have the kids play against each other. We have inter squad where we mix up the seniors and the juniors, and then they play small games. But for us, it's it takes a couple of years on the hockey side for them to get some reps and get some experience before we can place them into competitive games against other clubs. But that's the goal, for sure, is to get them playing against the Baltimore youth hockeys, the Navy youth hockeys, the Buoys, and so on and so forth.
Do they go on to play high school hockey or college? Some of these.
Yeah, I know for our junior banners, that's a goal. We obviously don't have any that are there yet. But for us, that's ultimately a goal. It's not going to be for everybody. Not everybody gets a chance to play college hockey. It's, whether it's NCAA or club, that just might not be the thing for them. But having that network and that background through hockey can certainly help connect the dots and pursue what it is they want to pursue. But obviously, if there are interests and wanting to continue playing hockey, we certainly have the manpower and the woman power and any of the network needed to do that.
And that's how you keep it going too. Yeah. Still trying to let's see. Yeah. When it comes to starting a business, for these guys, do you have mentors, right? You have mentors that have been through, restaurateurs. Do you have any people that have been through digital business as well with through the Tender Bridge Foundation?
Yeah, I would say we have too many to count, but as far as coaches and volunteers that are in different professions or different industries that have continued to implement whatever it is that they have professionally onto whatever it is the kids are looking to do. And from the digital side, it's obviously trending that way. So we have a variety. I mean, my personal experience being in sales and having a background in sales, it's just answering questions or following up with anybody that wants to get involved, and learning more about it. I think that's been the biggest thing, is just giving education. The more education, more knowledge you have, the more powerful you be when it comes to make that decision. But ultimately, that education comes from experience. So we like to put the kids in a situation where they'll get a chance to contribute. We actually have a few that we're teaching them how to sharpen skates. We're going to have our own pro shop, if you will. So that way we can take equipment that was donated, and for the ones that are in need of equipment but are growing, it's going to be fixed up and ultimately repurposed so that it can be used again by somebody else, just at a much cheaper price than it would be for brand new. And obviously it's tough to get equipment and things now, so it's on hand, and it's going to be something for the kids where they're able to make a little bit of money, but ultimately they're going to learn a skill in business and transactions.
That's incredible. And I've definitely done a few things. I got some equipment that was donated back in the day, and I'm still like, geez,
who hasn't, right? I mean, I can tell you that there were some pieces of equipment that I didn't get brand new until I got to college or even post college, just because, it was something that felt felt like I was used to it, or just because when you're growing and, hockey is not a cheap sport. You got to find ways to make do and do it quickly, especially when there's a lot of other things that add up along the season. So for us, we have gotten some good donations. We're always open to getting more donations. For us, it's just about keeping the major components updated, whether it be the helmets, skates, sticks, gloves, shin pads, things that pants. Yeah. I mean, there's just so many things that we are always in need of because these kids are growing. So we just need to make sure that we continue to put that out there, but know that at the end of the day, it's always evolving, and it helps when you have a lot more in your inventory to pick from.
100%. And where can people go and donate to the Tender Bridge Foundation, or can they also donate to the Baltimore Banners directly?
Yeah, so if you go to the tenderbridge.org, there is there should be a link right through there in which you're able to donate. And there's different specifications within that. Any of the funding is going towards the banners and activities. It's not just strictly ice hockey. The Tender Bridge is a nonprofit, and for us, we find different ways to resource and get the funds and the things that we need. But I also believe that I was told on the hockey podcast we'll be putting out that link. So I'll make
I will
sure
definitely put that in the show notes. So for those of you listening on Spotify or Apple or Google or wherever you may be listening to, it's in the show notes. So please just check that out. Or if you're on YouTube, this episode will be on YouTube. If you are there, that is in the description, or I've pinned it to the comments there. So anything else you want to discuss before I end this?
I think we covered a lot. I would just say, to reiterate what we talked about earlier, is that it takes a village. So if anybody is interested in helping out, you're in the Baltimore area and you want to get involved, feel free to reach out. I'll give you some info that you can put out there as well, that you can pin to the page. And they also have a sign up form on the tenderbridge.org. So this isn't just a short-term thing. It takes a village, and we're in it for the long haul. As we said, all leagues lead to adult leagues. So we're here for it.
100%. Okay, that'll do it for the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. I will put the donation link down there and any other information that Mr. Coach Joe Vonakis wants to give me as well. All right, that will do it for this episode. This is going to be episode 11. Yeah, let's see. This should be episode 11 as well. Yeah, that's right. It's episode 11. Okay. All right. That'll do it. Everyone, take care.
Thanks, Adam.